Charlie Duke. Oh, quoting Philemon. Oh, man. I love that. I haven't talked about Philemon in forever. I'm a gigantic Philemon junkie. There is on Supply of Grace a whole big series of all the text of all the messages I gave at Brian's church a few years ago on Philemon, and this verse here really lights my fire. Philemon verse 6, that the communication of thy faith may become effectual, energized, might become energy in all those saints. How? By the acknowledging of every good thing which is in you in Christ Jesus. Faith isn't effectual without acknowledging Christ. Oh, he asked for more than that. He says to acknowledge more than that here. The acknowledging of every good thing which is in you in Christ. This verse really transformed my thinking in the early days when I first started preaching before we ever got on YouTube, because here he's saying, look, Philemon, that the communication of thy faith, not just the words he uses, not just the verbal communication with other people about what he believes, but also the communication in the sense of the outliving of your faith. He is communicating his faith by the way he lives his life. And so by the general verbal or nonverbal communication of his faith to everybody around him, that faith may become energized in the saints around him. And how? By acknowledging every good thing he has in Christ. So this was Paul imploring Philemon to verbalize everything he had in Christ. Forgiven all trespasses, complete in him, blessed with all spiritual blessings, already seated in the heavens in Christ. A new man, all these many blessings you have in Christ, dead, buried, risen with him. By sharing the blessings he has in Christ, it would hopefully energize those around him who were also believers. So I always made it a point I had for a long time. I still do this regularly, where when you get to a point of just talking about the blessings you have, I'll just list about maybe half a dozen or so blessings that you have. Just go through and just nail down some of the many blessings we already have in Christ, because it energizes the saints. I think that verse is fantastic. And the effectual here, if I remember correctly, was energizing. They'll be energized by him acknowledging every good thing he had in Christ. Don't get me started on Philemon. I will totally spend the entire second hour talking about Philemon.